question of miscellaneous exercises. If x minus a the whole square plus y minus b the whole square is equal to c square for some c greater than 0, prove that 1 plus dy by dx the whole square the whole raised to 3 by 2 divided by d square y by dx square is a constant independent of a and b. Is a constant. Is a constant means you should not get the variable x and y there. Okay, and it should be independent of a and b also. That means when they are saying independent of a and b, it can be c. In terms of c, you can get the answer. Okay, so first we will start with the question, which is x minus a the whole square plus y minus b the whole square equal to c square. Differentiating with respect to x, you will get 2 into x minus a into derivative of x minus a is 1 plus 2 into y minus b into derivative of y minus b is y dash or dy by dx equal to 0 because c is constant, so its derivative will be 0 only. Now we will find out what is y dash equal to, or what is this dy by dx. Okay, so you will get 2 into y minus b into y dash is equal to minus 2 into x minus a. 2 get cancelled and y dash becomes minus of x minus a divided by y minus b. Now we will find out their second derivative because in the question you need dy by dx, which is this, as well as the second derivative. Yes. So y dash is equal to minus of x minus a by y minus b. Now you are again differentiating with respect to x, so that you will get y double dash in the left hand side and we will use quotient rule in the right hand side. So minus of denominator into derivative of numerator is 1 minus of numerator into derivative of denominator. What will be the derivative of denominator will give you again y dash divided by y minus b the whole square. Okay. Now what we will do is we are just replacing the value of y dash which we have already got in place of this. So minus of y minus b into 1 minus x minus a into y dash is negative of, so it will become positive here, x minus a into x minus a the whole square divided by y minus b. Okay, whole divided by y minus b the whole square. Now we will take the LCM in the numerator, so that you will get minus of, this will become y minus b the whole square plus x minus a the whole square divided by, and this will go here, so that it becomes y minus b the whole cube. And what is this term? This term is given to be, just see, x minus a the whole square plus y minus b the whole square is c square. So we are just replacing this term with c square. Okay, so you are getting y double dash as minus c square by y minus b the whole cube. So this is your y double dash, this is your y dash. And now we are starting with what we need, this one, this term. Okay. Term to be proven as 1 plus dy by dx the whole square the whole raised to 3 by 2 divided by d square y by dx square, which is 1 plus, what is dy by dx? Minus of x minus a by y minus b the whole raised to 2, and to the whole term you have the power to be 3 by 2 divided by y double dash is minus c by y minus b the whole cube. Again this will give you positive and it will give 1 plus x minus a the whole square by y minus b the whole square whole raised to 3 by 2 divided by minus c by y minus b the whole cube, which is again equal to, here if you take the LCM, this will become y minus b the whole square plus x minus a the whole square. This one is having raised to 3 by 2 and the denominator is also having raised to 3 by 2. So the power of this denominator in the numerator becomes y minus b the whole square the whole raised to 3 by 2. That is whole cube. And you have minus c by y minus b the whole cube. So that, and y minus b the whole square plus x minus a the whole square is given to be c square. Again we can replace that value with c square. So you get c square the whole raised to 3 by 2 divided by this will become power 3 y minus b the whole cube, okay, into here what you have is this will go up y minus b the whole cube divided by minus c, so that these two get cancelled and the power of this will become c cube divided by minus c, which is minus c square. So c square, when we say, sorry, this is c square, right? And here you have c square, so you are getting minus c. So minus c is actually a constant. For some constant c greater than 0 you have. So you can say that comma a constant independent of a and b. Okay. So the question is, if cos y is equal to x into cos of a plus y with cos a not equal to plus or minus 1, the value of cos a is not equal to plus or minus 1, then prove that cos square of a plus y, sorry, dy by dx is cos square of a plus y divided by sin y. Okay, so for that what we will do is, here you have most of the terms in terms of y. So from the question, that is cos y equal to x cos of a plus y, we are finding out what is x equal to in this question. Okay, so x is equal to what you will get, cos y divided by cos of a plus y, right? Now we will differentiate this equation with respect to y. That means in the left hand side we will get dx by dy, and our purpose is to prove that dy by dx equal to. So at last what we will do, when we will get dx by dy, we will just reciprocate it so that we will get dy by dx. Okay, so firstly what we are doing is, we are differentiating with respect to y. Normally we do the derivative or find the derivative with respect to x, but here since this question became like x equal to a function of y, we are just differentiating with respect to y. Now you should be careful by differentiating, because with respect to y it is, so you will not get any y dash by differentiating the term of y. Okay, so the left hand side becomes dx by dy because we are differentiating with respect to y, and here again you have quotient rule to be applied. That means you have denominator into derivative of numerator. What is the derivative of numerator? Minus sin y. In normal case what we do is, we will write this and together with we have a y dash. But here since we are differentiating with respect to y, it will be dy by dy only. Okay, differentiating y with respect to y will give you 1 only. So you are writing only minus sin y minus cos y into derivative of cos of, you understood what is this? This is actually d by dy of cos y. Okay, minus cos y into d by dy of cos of a plus y divided by cos of a plus y the whole square, which is equal to cos of a plus y into derivative of cos y will give you minus sin y into, you will get dy by dy. That's why we are not writing anything, this one. And then cos y into cos of, again will give you minus sin of, but again it is with respect to y, that's why you will not get anything as y dash. Okay, divided by, this will become cos square of a plus y. Now here it is minus sin y cos of a plus y, minus minus, this will become plus. So it is cos of a plus y negative sin y plus cos y sin of a plus y. So you have to see this as the expansion of something, that is sin a cos b minus cos a sin b. Okay, so that it is, what is the sin a cos B minus cos A sin B is equal to sin of A minus B. So using this, we will get the term to be sin of, instead of A, you have A plus Y, and instead of B, you have Y. So it is sin of A minus B in the numerator, and denominator is cos square of A plus Y. Okay, so that these two get cancelled and it becomes sin A divided by cos square of A plus Y. So this is actually your dx by dy. So what will be dy by dx? You have to just take the reciprocal. Taking reciprocals, you will get dy by dx is equal to cos square of A plus Y divided by sin A. Okay. The next question is, if x equal to a into cos t plus t sin t and y is equal to a into sin t minus t cos t, find d square y by dx square. Now you can see that this is in your parametric form, that means the parameter is t. So you have to separately differentiate with respect to d both x and y. So from this x equal to a into cos t plus t sin t, you will get dx by dt. That means you are differentiating with respect to t, since the parameter is t. Okay. A into derivative of cos t will give you minus sin t plus t sin t, means here you have to use your product rule. So you will have t into derivative of cos sin t is cos t plus sin t into derivative of t is 1. Okay. So that these two will go and you will get a t cos t as dx by dt. Now since y is a into sin t minus t cos t, dy by dt will be a into sin t's derivative will give you cos t minus of, you just put a bracket there so that you have two terms to be differentiated here using your product rule. So t into derivative of cos t is minus sin t plus cos t into derivative of t, which is 1. So that this is a into cos t minus, this will give you plus t sin t, and this will give you negative cos t. So these two will go and you will get a t sin t as your dy by dt. Therefore dy by dx will be dy by dt divided by dx by dt, which is, what is dy by dt? A t sin t divided by a t cos t. So you are getting this to be tan t. So this much is your dy by dx. Now the question is, you have to find out what is d square y by dx square, and that also we cannot write directly the derivative of this because it is with respect to t only. Right? So we can differentiate this term with respect to t only. So I will write derivative of tan t into, since you have to get like this, what you have to do is you have to multiply this with dt by dx also. That means it is actually a chain rule. You have to get d by, this is actually d by dx of dy by dx. Right? d by dx of dy by dx is same as your d square y by dx square. That means you are having the term tan t to be differentiated with respect to x, but you cannot directly do it. So what you are doing is, first you are differentiating it with respect to t and then differentiating t with respect to x, because our ultimate purpose is to find out with respect to x. So it will be d by dt of tan t and differentiating this t with respect to x. Okay. So derivative of tan t will give you sec square t, and into dt by dx will be the reciprocal of dx by dt. This is your dx by dt. It is the reciprocal of dx by dt. Okay, this is 1 by dx by dt. So you will get 1 by a t cos t. Take the reciprocal of this term and multiply with this. Okay. Now what you will get at last, 1 by a t into 1 by cos is again sec, so it will become sec cube t. this is your final answer. And this is very important. Children used to make mistake here. They will just differentiate till this. Tan t will be differentiated and the answer will be 6 per t. But they will forget to do this. So this step is very important. That is, if you have to find out d square y by dx square, and if it is with respect to some other parameter, the term is with respect to some other parameter, that means you have to follow this step. That is, d square y by dx square is equal to d by dt of whatever you have got as the y dash or dy by dx into dt by dx. If it is t, if it is in terms of theta, you will write d by d theta of, and here it will be d theta by dx. The 18th question is, if f of x equal to mod of x the whole cube, show that f double dash of x exists for all real x and find it. So first of all, we should know that what is mod x. If you have f of x to be mod x, it is x when x is greater than or equal to 0 and minus x when x is less than 0. So that in this case you have to split and do it. That means you have two cases, which is when x is greater than or equal to 0 and when x is less than 0. Okay, now when x is greater than or equal to 0, the function given, that is f of x, will be mod of x cube, and mod of x value will be x itself for x greater than or equal to 0. So it is x cube. Okay. Now what will be f dash for this one? F dash means it is the first derivative of this term. So you will have 3x square here, and f double dash of x will give you 6x. So whenever you have x greater than or equal to 0, your second derivative exists and it is 6x. Now when you have x is less than 0, the function value will become mod of x cube, which is, what is mod x when x is less than 0? Minus x. So you will have minus x cube as the function value. So that your f dash of x will become minus 3x square and f double dash of x will become minus 6x. That means for both the values, for all real numbers, you have second derivative to be existing. So combining these two, we will write it as f double dash of x is equal to, as we write in mod x. Since it has two values, we are splitting and writing. It is 6x when x is greater than or equal to 0 and minus 6x when x is less than 0. Okay, this is your f double dash of x. The question is, using mathematical induction, you have to prove that d by dx of x raised to n is equal to n x raised to n minus 1 for all positive integers n. So here first, what is the step? We have to prove that the result is true for n equal to 1. Then we have to assume that the result is true, and true for n equal to k, and we have to prove that the result is true for n equal to k plus 1. That is the procedure used here. Okay. So for n equal to 1, what we are doing is p of 1 is d by dx of x raised to 1, replacing n with 1. So for n equal to 1, you have p of 1 to be d by dx of x raised to 1, which is 1 into x raised to 1 minus 1, and you will get it to be 1 into x raised to 0, which is 1. Anything raised to 0 is 1, so you are getting p of 1 to be 1, which is same as what you have to get. Okay. Now let us assume that, okay, therefore the result is true for n equal to 1. Now let us assume that the result is true for n equal to k. So what you will get? P of k is d by dx of x raised to k, which is equal to k x raised to k minus 1. Okay, so here, to prove that the result is true for, the third step is, result is true for n equal to k plus 1. That means we will start with p of k plus 1, which is d by dx of x raised to k plus 1. Now here what we are doing is we are splitting the power of x and making it as a product of two terms, which is x raised to k and x, and applying the product rule. So you will get d by dx of x raised to k into x plus x raised to k into d by dx of x. So this will give you, again from first we have assumed that derivative of x raised to k is taken as k x raised to k minus 1 into x plus x raised to k into derivative of x with respect to x will give you 1, and by using 1 you have done this step. Now this will become, that is here your power of x is 1, here it is k minus 1. So you can add both so that it will become k into x raised to k minus 1 plus 1, which is x raised to k plus x raised to k. So that you have x raised to k in common, so we give you k plus 1. That means you are getting this to be k plus 1 into x raised to k, which can be again rewritten as k plus 1 into x raised to k plus 1 minus 1, because we need in that form. So the term which is coming here should be mentioned here. That's why we are rewriting this k as k plus 1 minus 1, which is same as k. Okay, therefore the result is true for k plus 1 also. Hence, you can say that the result is true for all positive integers n. Result is true for your mathematical induction method.